Hey guys, so in today's video, we're gonna go over how to contour and highlight the correct way. So let's get into it. Contouring and highlighting is an application to define and enhance your facial structure, bringing out the areas that you want enhanced with the highlight, and then with your contour, you're bringing the areas back. Contouring is about bringing symmetry back to your face. Proportion is very important when it comes to contouring. So what we wanna do is divide our face into 3 sections. We're gonna go from the bottom of our hairline to the bottom of our brow, and then from the bottom of our brow to the bottom of our nose, and from the bottom of our nose to the bottom of our chin. You want each section to be equal. So for me, these 2 are pretty equal, but this one, I already know that my chin is a little bit longer. So I'm gonna contour my chin area. I'm not gonna contour my forehead at all. Even though for an oval face, it will always tell you to shade the forehead. But this is what I mean by you gotta go by what your facial features are, because although I have an oval face shape, my forehead is short. I don't have a tall forehead, so I don't wanna contour, I don't wanna recede or bring back my forehead at all. But I do have a little bit of a longer chin, so I do want to contour my chin. I'm gonna be using the RCMA Contour and Highlight Palette in Light. I love using creams because it's most natural and skin-like. You want to use something that has gray-brown in it because that's what a natural shadow is. It's your skin tone with gray in it. But when you do get into deeper skin tones, you do wanna add a little bit of warmth because it will look too gray. You wanna think of having like an upside down triangle on your face. So the light is gonna be within that upside down triangle, and the contour is gonna be in the perimeter of the face. So we wanna go into the hollows of our cheek. You can do the fishy face, or you can do the duck lips with a smile. Try to see where that line is, and you wanna follow your natural contour line. Now you only wanna go up to the end of your eye. You do not wanna go all the way to the corner of your mouth because you already have a natural shadow that comes down. And if you bring the contour shade all the way to your lips, in my opinion, it just doesn't look good. So just go to the end of the eye. I'm gonna bring that down and I'm gonna stop that right there. I'm not gonna contour my forehead at all because I want my forehead to stand out actually because it's so small, but I am going to do my jawline. I don't really have a jawline, so this is important for me to apply that here. I'm also gonna do under my chin and then right here. As I said, I want my chin to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to apply it here. And I'm thinking about that triangle again. I kind of have a round chin too, so I want to point that out a little bit. I'm going to put a little contour here also. This kind of helps the lips pout out, and I'm also shortening my chin a little bit more here and right here. Now for your nose, right where your cupid's bow, the top of your cupid's bow is, and go straight up. And that's exactly where you should contour your nose. And I'm gonna go right into the orbital bone. Now I don't wanna highlight my nose because my nose is already pretty prominent, and I think the contrast between the contour already is enough. So I'm not going to highlight my nose at all. If you have more of a flat nose, then I would definitely highlight it if you want to. Now I'm gonna be going in with my highlights. I'm going to be mixing these 2 shades. I am neutral, so I'm gonna mix the pink and the yellow together. Just gonna use my finger and I'm going to put it on the high points of my cheeks. You want this to be the whitest part of your face. And I have a pretty narrow face, so I really want it to be enhanced and to lift up. Now, if you had a smaller chin that you did not contour, you can put a little highlight right at the end. So since I contoured my chin here, I'm actually going to place my highlight a little bit higher, as if this was the tip of my chin. And I'm going to highlight my forehead. And if you want a little more enhanced, you can add a little highlight right under that contour. Okay, so we're gonna blend it all together. This is a brush that I had just used to apply my foundation, so it has a little bit of residue left on it, which I want because I want it to look more natural. So I'm going to just use that brush, it's a stippling brush, to just blend everything together. I usually start with my highlight. You want to buff up in the contour areas because you don't want it to drag down. I had set it exactly where I want it, so you're going to buff that up. It's just melting into the skin. That's why I really love using creams. That's why makeup artists really like using creams, because you can really manipulate creams and work with them better, whereas liquids will just set and you can't do anything about it once it sets, really. Now, I didn't do the bottom of my eyes in that triangle, so I'm gonna be using the little bit of a darker pinky shade. I'm putting that right here and doing like a little triangle with that. I did not want to use the one that was too light right under my eye, so I just use a shade a little bit darker here. And then blend that together. And then if you want to intensify it, you can go back in. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go in with the deeper contour shade and apply that just a little bit. And then in between, you can always wipe your brush off. Just going to go under the chin again. So important not to use bronzer, especially in the neck area, because they'll just look orange. But look at that jawline, just from a little bit of contour. Go back with my foundation brush and just blending that up. A little more highlight here. I'm gonna add a little more to my nose here. Now, if you want to add a little bit of blush, you can do so. I'm going to add a little bit of cream, and you want to really be strategic about where you place the blush. Color rounds things out, but you want it to be not into your highlight area. You don't want it to be below your nose, and you don't want it to be into your contour. So right here. And then blend that out. Now in setting all of this, you want to use a colorless powder because if you go in with something with coverage or color to it, it's just going to mess up everything you just did. So this is by Kit Cosmetics. We're gonna put a little bit under the eyes. We do not want to bake. Just gonna set everything. Pat it in. Now if you want to go in with a bronzer or a powder blush, you can do that. Remember that color rounds things out, so it's not a contour, it's not going to recede my forehead. So I'm just going to put a little warmth to my skin. Okay, and if you wanted to do another highlight, you can do that. I'm actually going to be using a cream highlight. I meant to do that before I powdered, but it's okay. This is from RMS. This is the Living Luminizer. Beautiful, very, very natural highlight. It's a cream. It looks like dewy, beautiful skin, not glittery. I'm gonna put that here. With my finger and just let it melt into the skin. Again, I would do this before powdering. I just forgot, but it's okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something today. Please consider subscribing if you're new here, and I hope to see you in my next video.